Who caught that boy? Who stretched that boy? Who caught that boy, man?
He never seen that man with Young Boy before that shit happened with V-Roy. You see what I'm saying? It's like he using that like as a face card to be around him, like to make them look a little tough. You see?
Lul Tim just broke his silence on social media, and he went straight at King Von's legacy. Within hours, OBlock members started flooding their pages with messages that made it clear they haven't forgotten anything. The tension between Lul Tim and Von's crew has been building since November 2020, and this latest move might have just pushed things past the point of no return. Let me take you back to where all this started.
That man with Young Boy before that shit happened with V-Roy. You see what I'm saying? It's like he using that like as a face card to be around him, like to make them look a little tough. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's how I look at it. But I ain't really like.
So if it was
it ain't much I can say because I'm still I'm working on my way up and shit. You see what I'm saying? I ain't. If my time gonna come, it's whatever. But it's just that shit. Like that's the shit.
Because if you don't understand that night in Atlanta, nothing that's happening right now makes sense. November 6, 2020, outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge, King Von and his crew ran into Quando Rondo's group. A fight broke out, and within seconds, shots were fired. Lul Tim, who was Quando's close friend and essentially his security, pulled out his weapon. King Von was shot and later died from his injuries. Tim was arrested and charged, but he claimed self-defense because Von had allegedly been beating up Quando right before the shooting. The Georgia legal system looked at the case, reviewed the evidence, and ultimately,
Who caught that boy? Who stretched that boy? Who caught that boy, man? You got on that plate that thought smoking like that.
the charges against Lul Tim were dropped. The prosecutor said they couldn't prove beyond reasonable doubt that it wasn't self-defense. That decision infuriated OBlock and Von's fans worldwide. They felt like justice wasn't served, like their guy died and nobody paid for it legally. Now here's where it gets complicated. Lul Tim walked free, but he didn't stay quiet. Over the past few years, he's made several posts and comments that OBlock sees as disrespectful. He's posted photos with guns, made cryptic statements about standing on business, and according to some reports, even liked posts that mock Von's death. Each time he does something like this, the temperature rises.
So do you understand the whole situation or what?
I understand, but it's like, all right, you did what you did, okay.
Because
cool.
I heard, not to cut you off, but I heard a lot of people from y'all side getting that, people saying he did with like...
But he'll do what any street do if he got to defend his people. But it's like, all right, you did what you did, that's cool, all right, boom, the police is involved, you got out, bro. It ain't like you did some street shit and like, it's just left in the streets. That shit on some police shit too at the same time, you get what I'm saying? Like, do shit, like it's a difference from doing some street shit and the motherfucker know you did some street shit, right? And your name, you in the streets, like, your name ring or whatever. But you did some street shit, whatever, you claim, but the police was involved in that shit. But it's like, I don't like the way he go about it, like, be flexing and shit, like, don't act like you did some shit and just got away, like, off the chain, like, off that, like, bro, this ain't, like, it's some shit I can't even say, but it's like, I don't like how certain...
This newest incident happened just days ago. Lul Tim posted on his Instagram story with a caption that people are saying referenced King Von directly. The exact wording is being debated, but the message was clear enough that Von's friends and OBlock affiliates immediately understood it as disrespect. Within 2 hours, multiple people connected to OBlock started responding. Boss Top, who was extremely close to King Von, posted a series of stories that didn't mention Tim by name, but made it obvious who he was talking about. He said something along the lines of how certain people keep talking, but won't ever have to answer for what they did. He used the phrase, "the streets don't forget," which is basically code for saying legal justice and street justice are two different things. Lil Durk, Von's best friend and one of the biggest rappers in Chicago right now.
Do you feel like Lul Tim was wrong for what he did?
Yeah.
You don't feel like he was defending
He
himself?
didn't get hit. How was a man defending himself and nobody touched him? I thought that God was the one who could take a life to defend. You just sitting there fighting a regular person. He knew when you saw him it was on. Would you think it deemable that your life be taken from some coward? They wasn't even jumping this man, Cam. A man is no longer here today off of a little moment of anger. It'll be hypocritical of me to be mad at him at something that Von did his whole life. If Lul Tim don't understand what happened to Von could happen to him, well, let us just sit back and eat popcorn. Not with the hopes that it's gonna happen, but we watching the movie.
Didn't post anything directly, but people noticed he unfollowed Quando Rondo again after having followed him briefly a few months back. In hip hop, especially in this situation, social media moves like that carry weight. It's a statement without saying a word. The comment sections turn into war zones. Von's fans, who are massive in number and extremely loyal, started flooding Tim's pages. They're posting the date November 6th repeatedly, posting dove emojis, which represent Von, and making it
Humble, gang. You see what I'm saying? I feel like he ain't humble about that shit. Like, cause the same way like you did what you did, that shit could happen to you too, gang. Like on some easy shit. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Bro, you got lucky. You did what you did. You defended you stood your ground, whatever. But it's like, it's just the way like had be playing out now, like all that on stage and okay, you
tough, like
yeah, gang. Like I don't be liking that gang, cause bro,
was gangster.
Folks was a gangster. This what I'm saying.
He died again.
Ain't doing no like with shit like that, bro. It's like, bro, you got lucky, really, bro. Like it ain't like you was on no you ain't finna face this man face to face and just you got lucky. His back
clear. They see Tim as someone who took their favorite rapper from them. On the flip side, Tim supporters and Quando Rondo's fans are defending him, saying he was protecting his friend and the law agreed with him. Some people in the hip hop community have tried to play peacemaker. There have been reports of industry people reaching out to both sides, trying to get everyone to move on and let it go. But those efforts haven't worked. The wound is too fresh, the feeling's too strong, and both sides feel justified in their positions. Here's what makes this particularly concerning.
You know, one of my favorite rappers ever was King Von. Yeah. You had a great relationship with him, obviously. Yeah. Where were you when you got the call?
We was in Houston. We was shooting a video, I think. Yeah.
He was one of the most talented guys on the planet.
Somebody told me if you can copy an artist to be somebody for Halloween, you made it. He had a whole image. You know what I'm saying? And he lived what he lives. What he rapped about, he lived, but he was good hearted at the same time. So it's like authentic, genuine. You don't really get that.
Mm-hmm. How many songs did you guys do together? You did a bunch, right?
Yeah, we did a lot of songs. Like if I sit up and say a number, I'll be lying.
Right.
Neither side is backing down. Lul Tim continues to post and act like he's not worried. OBlock continues to make it clear they haven't forgotten and they're still upset. In a genre where image and respect mean everything, neither side can really afford to look weak or scared. That creates a dangerous standoff where everyone's locked into their positions. The next few weeks are gonna be crucial. If Tim keeps posting provocative content, especially around—
Who caught that boy? Who stretched that boy? Who caught that boy, man?
Got on that plate, that's all smoking like
around Von's death anniversary, the responses from OBlock are likely to get more intense. If OBlock keeps publicly calling him out, Tim might feel pressured to respond even more boldly. It's a cycle that can escalate quickly. What do you think is gonna happen with this situation? Do you think Lul Tim should stop posting about it and just move on quietly? Or does he have the right to live his life and post what he wants since he was cleared legally? And do you think OBlock will eventually let this go? Or is this something that's never going away? If you want to stay updated on everything happening with this situation and all the other drama in the rap world, Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. This story is far from over, and you know I'll break down every development as it happens. I'll catch you in the next one.